Hello, Cultivate Excellence friends, family, fans, and supporters. It's a treat that you're back with us, and we're here again with Antonio Castillo. Thanks again for joining us.
Oh, pleasure's all mine.
Our last session was so inspiring that I brought you back, and I wanted to talk more with you about motivation. But this time, motivation as it relates to others, motivating our significant others, our children, our bosses, our co-workers, our friends. Motivation in all aspects. What are your thoughts on how we can become better motivators?
You mean how we can better motivate others?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. There's a debate that's been going on for a long time, and the debate says, can someone actually motivate someone else, or can someone only support someone who has to motivate themselves? Two sides of that same coin, and it's kind of challenging in how we do it because, often what we're trying to do is to motivate others, and sometimes we don't do it very well. There's that phrase, motivation through intimidation.
Oh, yeah.
I'll grant you, it gets the job done.
Right.
We motivate somebody to do something because of a threat. Right? The problem with that is that even though we accomplish something, it's short term. Right? And the other thing is, we try to motivate others by believing that we know what's going to motivate them.
Right.
You have no clue what motivates me, and I have no clue what motivates you. So how is it that we can motivate each other if we don't even know what it is that it takes to motivate someone else?
That's so true.
And think about it in terms that if we're dealing with a team, and there are 5 people on that team, and we're going to motivate them, and we come in and we say, here's the plan to motivate all of you. Some react to money, some to recognition, some to time off,
Right.
some just to a thank you.
So it's finding out what motivates them to begin with and starting and having that conversation. How would you advise someone to start that conversation without, coming across as, I'm trying to find out the secret so I can use it against you?
First off, we need to start with open-ended questions. To ask those questions and be comfortable about asking the questions. And then comes the most important part of that equation, listening to the response. They'll tell us what it is that motivates them. They'll tell us what hot button triggers them. But sometimes we don't listen because we're already formulating our own plan in our own mind as to, oh, here's what I assume is what they're saying, and we go in that direction. So, open-ended questions, listening, and then encouraging them. That sounds good. How would you do it? Give me more detail. And if you did do it, what would it look like? Like this. Good. Go out and do it. And then come back and let's talk about it some more. So encouragement is a huge part of motivating somebody else, even though we may not believe it is the appropriate action. The only way someone learns is by failing, or by learning those lessons on their own.
That's true.
That's one way, I should say that's another way of motivating people.
Yeah, coaches do it all the time. I mean, you have a sports team and they're constantly motivating them in that way. And I imagine it also starts with doing it and doing it often. So doing it much before you want an actual result from that person, right? So making sure that you're constantly listening and forming that good listening habits to know what motivates them and eventually implementing that.
Yeah,
on a regular basis.
those are important things. And the other thing is that, as I've mentioned to you in the past, when we were young, we didn't have to be pushed to be motivated.
Right.
We had this positive outlook on things.
Yeah.
We did a lot of things with our imagination, right? Why? Because we dreamed.
Right.
Somewhere along the lines, in those early teens, we lost that. We stopped dreaming.
So true.
We don't know what to do next. We don't know what that first step is. So one of those open-ended questions should be about, if you were, what would those first steps be, and why? And why is it a dream? What is your expectation? There's a huge difference between something that is fantasy and something that's a dream.
That's true.
And if we want to be motivated, you pick a dream that can be accomplished. It doesn't mean you're going to get there, but it's doing everything you can to try to get there.
That's right. Making that
And so our role as coaches, as leaders, as managers, is to find what that is in that other person that motivates them, and then allow ourselves to encourage them to continue doing those things. That's the only way we can do it. Not by telling them, we know what should motivate you, and now we're going to push you in that direction.
That's right. And the motivation continues even after they go out and do it, whether they fail, whether they succeed. That motivation continues, and there's that life cycle behind that. So.
Right. And I think the most important thing about the whole thing is extending that opportunity to say, look, I'm here to help you.
Absolutely.
What can I do to help you? What is it that we need to do together to get that thing where it has to be? I think that's the most important part that allows them to go into that direction. And then finally, following up on whatever it is that they're going to do.
Such good information for everybody in every scenario of our lives. Well, folks, I hope that this truly has been an amazing session for you and you've taken away some valuable pieces. It all starts with active listening, something we often overlook, but taking that time to listen in and those key pieces that we discover why people are motivated for what they do, and then letting them dream and motivating them along the way. Thank you so much for joining us today, and if you found this session valuable, comment. We would love to hear from you. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and continue the conversation and share this video with your friends and your network. Antonio, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
And look forward to our next session. Take care. Bye-bye.